I am José de Sousa, and I am the special one.
There's a moment in Premier League darts history that perfectly captures everything you need to know about José de Sousa. Night 16, 2021, Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes. First leg against Nathan Aspinall. De Sousa stands on 120 points remaining. Any other professional in the world takes the safe route, the logical route. Treble 20, single 20, double 20. The Shanghai finish. Clean, simple, professional. But this isn't any other professional. This is the special one. De Sousa steps up and aims all three darts at double 20. The crowd holds its breath. First dart lands. Wayne Mardle on commentary starts to realize what's happening. He's not, is he? Second dart buries itself in the bed. He's not. Oh, stop it. Third dart finds its home. The arena erupts. Mardle completely loses it. Oh, stop it. Stop it right now. The commentator's voice is gone, shredded by the sheer audacity of what just happened.
In great positions, but he's not. He's not. Oh, he's not. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Stop it right now. That is... Oh, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. That is ridiculous.
This was José de Sousa in his prime. A player who didn't just win matches, he created memories that would echo through darts history forever. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Just a few years later, this same player who dominated the sport and captured hearts worldwide would be fighting desperately just to keep his tour card. This is the story of the most entertaining player the PDC has ever seen and how it all came crashing down. José Augusto Oliveira de Sousa was born on February 25, 1974, in the small Portuguese town of Azambuja. He picked up his first dart in 1993 and quickly became the dominant force in Portuguese darts, winning virtually everything his home country had to offer. But Portugal wasn't exactly a darts powerhouse, and for years, de Sousa remained unknown to the wider world. He moved to Spain, worked long hours as a kitchen fitter in factories, and dreamed of something bigger. His first real shot came in 2012 when he qualified for the World Championship as the Southwestern European representative. The stage was set, the Alexandra Palace awaited, but Devon Peterson ended his dreams in the preliminary round. 7 years passed before he got another chance. 7 years of grinding on the soft-tip circuit, of working manual labor jobs, of wondering if he'd ever get back to that stage. When the 2019 World Championship rolled around, de Sousa fought his way through qualification and faced Michael Barnard in round 1. He had match darts, multiple match darts. The victory was right there in his hands, and he couldn't close it out. Another heartbreaking exit, but something shifted after that loss. In January 2019, de Sousa attended Q School in Hildesheim, Germany, and secured a 2-year tour card. At 44 years old, most players would be winding down their careers. De Sousa was just getting started. He quit his job as a kitchen fitter and bet everything on darts. It was time to find out if he belonged with the world's best. The first year on tour showed glimpses of brilliance mixed with growing pains. De Sousa reached his first Pro Tour final in June, but James Wade shut the door on him. Then came September 2019, and everything changed. Players' Championship 23 in Barnsley. De Sousa went on an absolute tear through the field, reaching the final where he faced Gerwen, who was already establishing himself as one of the sport's elite. The match wasn't even close. De Sousa demolished the Iceman, 8 legs to 1, becoming the first Portuguese player ever to win a PDC ranking event. History had been made. Just weeks later, he proved it wasn't a fluke. Players' Championship 28 in Dublin saw him capture his second title, this time beating Landurant 8-6 in a tighter affair. 2 titles in his rookie season. The darts world was starting to pay attention to this unknown Portuguese player with the unconventional style and bizarre checkout routes. His Pro Tour success meant automatic World Championship qualification, but once again, the Ally Pally proved to be his kryptonite. Damon Heta dismantled him 3-0 in round 1. The pattern was becoming clear. De Sousa could dominate on the floor events, but something about the big televised stage wasn't clicking yet. But that was about to change in the most spectacular way imaginable. 2020 became the year José de Sousa announced himself to the entire darts world. October brought the European Darts Grand Prix in Sindelfingen, Germany, and de Sousa's first European Tour title. The final put him against the biggest name in darts, Michael van Gerwen. MVG was ranked number 1 in the world, a 3-time world champion, an absolute legend of the sport, and de Sousa destroyed him. 8-4 in the final, averaging 105 across the match. This wasn't a lucky win or a tight squeaker. This was dominance. The £25,000 prize was nice, but more importantly, it earned him a spot in the Grand Slam of darts. 2 weeks later, at the European Championship, de Sousa threw his first televised 9-darter against Geoffrey Dezuan, beating him 6-3. Everything was clicking. The Grand Slam drew him into a group with Michael Smith, Christoph Ratajski, and Lisa Ashton. He beat Ratajski and Ashton convincingly, lost to Bully Boy in the group stage, but advanced as group runner-up to the knockout rounds. Round of 16, Dave Chisnall. De Sousa handled the business relatively comfortably, winning 10-7. Quarterfinals brought a rematch with Michael Smith, the man who beat him in groups. This time, the special one had the answer. In an absolutely gripping battle, de Sousa edged it 16-14. Simon Whitlock awaited in the semi-finals, and the wizard couldn't match de Sousa's power. 16-12, and suddenly, impossibly, José de Sousa was in a major final. His opponent was James Wade, a man with multiple major titles and decades of big stage experience. The machine knew how to win these matches. Except this night belonged to Portugal. De Sousa played the match of his life, averaging exactly 100 over 28 legs and crushing Wade 16-12 to become the first Portuguese player ever to win a PDC major. He entered the tournament ranked 34 in the world. He left it ranked 13th. Back home in Portugal, absolute chaos erupted. Kids who'd never thrown a dart suddenly wanted to play. And then came the cherry on top. A personal video message from Jose Mourinho himself. The nickname The Special One wasn't random. It came from 2 places, both deeply meaningful to de Sousa. First and most obviously, it was a tribute to his idol, legendary football manager Jose Mourinho. When Mourinho joined Chelsea in 2004, he held a press conference where he declared, "Please don't call me arrogant, but I'm European champion and I think I'm a special one." The British media ran with it, and Mourinho became the special one forever. De Sousa idolized Mourinho, a fellow Portuguese who conquered the world stage with confidence and flair. But the nickname had a second meaning specific to darts. De Sousa's checkout routes and mathematical decisions were, to put it mildly, unconventional. Nobody else thought about the board the way he did. After winning the Grand Slam, Jose Mourinho sent de Sousa a video message that sent the darts community into a frenzy. "Jose de Sousa, you already stole the special one, but I am very happy you did," Mourinho said with a huge smile. "I'm super proud. I hope one day we can meet and you can give me some tips, because now and then I like to go to the darts, but I am a bit weak." For de Sousa, who'd spent years working in factories and grinding on obscure tours, receiving recognition from his hero was almost as meaningful as the trophy itself. Portugal had a new sporting hero, and the entire country was celebrating. But what made de Sousa truly special, truly unforgettable, wasn't just his victories. It was the way he played, the bizarre finishes, the inexplicable mathematical routes, the moments that left commentators speechless and opponents confused. There was a reason for all of it, one that de Sousa's manager Mac Elkin eventually revealed publicly. José de Sousa has dyscalculia, a condition often called mathematical dyslexia. It affects how his brain processes and registers numbers. As Elkin explained, he knows all the checkout shots. It's just that in his mind, Jose often registers a number in his head differently to what it actually is. For years, this wasn't a problem. De Sousa played primarily on electronic boards that automatically calculated scores. He just threw, and the machine handled the math. But steel-tip darts at the PDC level, every player has to do their own arithmetic, and de Sousa's brain simply doesn't process numbers the way others do. The results were sometimes hilarious, sometimes costly, but always memorable. Pro Tour match against Martin Schindler. Shindy stood on double 1 to win. He missed. De Sousa had double 8 remaining. Instead of aiming at the double, he threw at treble 20, clearly calculating something nobody else in the building understood. European Tour against Daryl Gurney. 39 points left. De Sousa hit a 5. Everyone in the arena assumed he was going for double 17. Instead, he aimed at double 16, hit it, and suddenly realized he had double 1 remaining. He checked it anyway. At the 2020 World Championship against Mervyn King, trailing 3-0 in sets, De Sousa had 84 points left, with 1 dart to set up a ball finish and finally get on the board. Instead, he went for tops, hit it, and stood there with 10 points remaining, unable to finish. Mac Elkin admitted that while De Sousa laughs it off publicly, deep down, it hurts when crowds ridicule him. From time to time, he gets a little upset by the ridiculing, Elkin said. But those miscounts were part of the package, and they made his genuine brilliance all the more stunning. After the Grand Slam triumph, De Sousa received a wildcard invitation to the 2021 Premier League, despite his mediocre World Championship showing. This was the Elite League, only 10 players invited, competing weekly in front of massive crowds for the sport's biggest regular season prize. And De Sousa absolutely thrived. In April, he won Players' Championship 9 with a stunning 8-1 demolition of Luke Humphreys in the final, averaging 114 across the match. It was the best Pro Tour final since dart counting records began in 2018. He backed it up with wins at Players' Championship 14 against Michael van Gerwen 8-6 and Players' Championship 15 against Ryan Searle 8-7. But it was the Premier League where De Sousa truly became a legend. His power scoring was off the charts. Night after night, he peppered the treble 20 with a touch and rhythm that seemed almost effortless. By the end of the regular season, he'd shattered Gary Anderson's 10-year-old record for most 180s in a Premier League season, throwing 96 total maximums. In a single match against Nathan Aspinall, he threw 11 180s, tying another long-standing record. And then came that checkout, that impossible, audacious, unforgettable checkout. 120 points, 3 darts at double 20, and a commentator literally losing his voice from the excitement. Wayne Mardle's call became as famous as the shot itself, his voice cracking and failing as De Sousa buried the 3rd dart. After 16 nights of play, De Sousa finished 2nd in the table, securing his playoff spot. He beat Aspinall 10-9 in the semi-finals in another thriller. Only Johnny Clayton could stop him, taking the final 11-5. But finishing runner-up in the Premier League on his debut was remarkable. Jose De Sousa was officially a top 10 player in the world, and one of the most watchable players the sport had ever produced. Then everything changed, and it had nothing to do with form, or confidence, or injuries. It was the crowds. During the 2020 and early 2021 seasons, COVID restrictions meant most events were played behind closed doors or with severely limited attendance. The Premier League in particular used piped-in music and artificial crowd noise. De Sousa thrived in that environment. He could focus, could block everything out, could play his game without external pressure. But as 2021 progressed, restrictions lifted. First, 100 fans returned, then 1,000, then full capacity. And Jose De Sousa, the man who'd beaten Michael van Gerwen and James Wade on the biggest stages, couldn't handle it. Instead of recorded music, there was now a drunk Captain Igloo lookalike and 3,000 screaming lunatics behind him, bellowing songs and chants and absolute chaos. De Sousa looked nervous, distracted, almost absent mentally during his throws. His legendary scoring became inconsistent. His already shaky double percentage got worse. The mathematical mistakes that used to be amusing quirks now cost him matches because his baseline play had dropped. The 2022 World Championship saw him lose in round 3 to Alan Soutar. Not terrible, but not the run people expected from a top 10 player. The 2023 World Championship actually showed some fight. He came back from 2-0 down to beat Simon Whitlock, then turned a 3-0 deficit into a 4-3 victory over Ryan Searle. Gutsy stuff. But Gerwen Price ended his run in the round of 16. And outside those few bright moments, 2023 was a disaster. He barely registered any significant results. His ranking plummeted. The player who'd seemed destined for multiple majors was suddenly fighting just to stay relevant. If 2023 was bad, 2024 was catastrophic. De Sousa couldn't buy a win anywhere. When he got invited to World Series events on reputation alone, he'd lose immediately. Michael Smith beat him first round at the World Series finals. He failed to qualify for the World Championship for the first time since earning his tour card. By the end of 2024, the writing was on the wall. The 2025 season has been even worse. As of now, De Sousa has earned only £15,000 in Pro Tour prize money all year. That ranks him 106th on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He's 86 on the tour card race, which means unless something miraculous happens, he'll lose his tour card at the end of the year. His last realistic shot is winning the PDPA qualifier for the World Championship, but even that seems unlikely given his current form. The player who threw 96 maximums in a single Premier League season can barely win a match anymore. The man who beat the best in the world with style and flair is about to exit the professional tour entirely. And the saddest part is knowing that it's not about ability. The talent is still there. But mentally, with the crowds and the pressure and the constant scrutiny of his mathematical struggles, Jose de Sousa can't perform. The game he loves, the sport he sacrificed everything for, has become something he can't overcome. Let's be clear about something. There will never be another Jose de Sousa. Never another player who brings that combination of absolute power, scoring, mind-bending checkout routes, genuine warmth, and pure entertainment value. For 2 glorious years, he was the most watchable player in professional darts. Not the best, necessarily, but the one you drop everything to watch. He made spotters look foolish with his bizarre mathematics. He made crowds erupt with shots nobody else would dare attempt. He made Wayne Mardle lose his voice. And through it all, he remained humble, kind, and genuinely appreciative of the journey. It's hard to imagine there were many De Sousa haters out there. How could you hate someone who played with such joy and created such memories? Maybe, just maybe, he'll pull off one more miracle and win that PDPA qualifier to get back to the World Championship. Imagine the scenes if the special one returned to the Ally Pally stage one more time. Even if that doesn't happen, even if we've seen the last of Jose de Sousa at the highest level, we should celebrate what he gave us. For 2 years, he enriched the sport in ways that transcend statistics and rankings. He reminded us that darts is supposed to be fun, that unconventional paths can lead to glory, and that sometimes the special ones aren't the most talented or the most consistent. They're simply the ones who make us feel something every time they step up to throw. Jose de Sousa will never be forgotten by anyone who watched darts between 2020 and 2021. And really, in a sport where careers can span decades, leaving that kind of mark in just 2 years is its own kind of special. Love goes out to the special one. May his legend live forever in the triple tops checkout that made the world stop and watch.